What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. We got this new residential client, owner of a 2-family building here in 5 towns. Got 2 steam boilers. Need some help. You ready? Let's go. All right, we got a Williamson or Green Mountain boiler made by Whale McLean on the left. That's a steam boiler. The one on the right, that's got some problems. We'll take care of that. Both steam, GSA 100s, 100,000 BTU gas-fired steam boiler on both of them. Right. Yep. Not too shabby. I wouldn't. That T, it shouldn't be a Y, but it is what it is. Automatic feeder on both systems. Take a look at these water heaters. We have a fairly new A.O. Smith power vented 50 gallon? No, 40 gallon. A little bit of, ooh, we got some discharge on that relief valve. We'll take a look at the water meter, make sure we don't have a backflow prevention device on there. But take a look at this other A.O. Smith. Someone must like silver tape. I see that quite often with hacks, hackery. And we have some rollout switches here, interesting. But this one is kind of dry. Let's try that again. Yeah, so this relief valve is dry, but that one is wet. And let's go look at the water meter. So here is the water meter. We have a 5/8 meter. We have a piece 3/4 inch water coming in, 5/8 meter, going to 1 inch copper, which then goes to 1/2 inch. This is probably a hose faucet. I don't know where that goes. It disappears. And this is to the building. We got a nice brass T right there. Can't imagine what the inside of that looks like. Is that a Sweat by IPS 90? Sure is. Yeah, good stuff. But no backflow prevention device, so we just probably have a bad pressure relief valve on that water heater. All right, let's dry the rag. And we have a full sight glass. So when you have a full sight glass, always assume that the boiler is flooded. And drain until the water level is where it should be. Now, granted, we are missing the upper valve on that sight glass. We will be all right. Come on. It's frozen. There you go. All right, let's drain. All right, how many buckets to drain the boiler? Take a guess. 3? No. You see how slow it's draining? You don't want 3 buckets coming out of this boiler. I hope not. Did you really? So the water level needs to be maintained at approximately halfway mark of that sight glass. Any more than that, you're using more energy to heat the water to create steam, which is just inefficient. You only need half of sight glass full of water. So, like the way the other one is. A little dirty though, but a little below halfway. You know that valve sucks. But it is what it is. All right, while we're draining the boiler on the right, this turned off. Can we turn up the heat on the first floor? Because it just turned off, unless there is a, no, usually there's like a little splice here. You could, actually I could do it here, it's fine. Yeah, here's your thermostat connection. Let's just jump that out.
Turn it on or no?
No, it's fine.
Okay, never mind. Turn it on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So TT, 2 black wires. See, it says thermostat right there. So let this boiler fire back up. We'll do a combustion test while we're letting the boiler on the right drain.
Heater on the right, why did it not like stop at the right time?
We don't know.
Is that a problem with the water heater? Like,
We're gonna find out. Too soon to tell. Let's see what this thing does. So that, see, there's no water coming out of it. But if I bring it down here, it slowly comes out.
yeah.
So, you know, water doesn't go against gravity. So I'm willing, that sight glass is probably clogged up, or that upper valve is closed.
That's why I stopped though, because I was like starting to drain it. I did like a few gallons already. And
Yeah.
Like, it never looks like.
So these numbers are okay, given the age and the type of boiler that it is. But let's clipboard that and let's test draft. Let's go back, escape, draft measurement, and then we'll take a look at the clogged sight glass. Two, 1, 0. This is going to go straight up the flue, and we'll see how our draft is. So we have negative draft. Let's see if we can get that to 300 degrees. Probably not. It's diluted with the basement air. Okay, let's clipboard that. We're still negative. Good. Let's put this one back into normal operation. All right. Now that the water level's at a normal location, let's take some more water out of the boiler.
Hopefully it goes down.
Dirty. It's okay. So let's watch that go down, and then the low water cutoff light should kick on, and when it does, we'll wait for the automatic feeder to feed and deliver the proper amount of water, because we need to make sure that the system is not overfilling, because if it is, we'll be right back where we started from before I got here and still have the same problem.
Also, if we were going on like vacation or something, is it fine to turn the units completely off in terms of like freezing more, or?
I wouldn't keep the heat off completely in the winter.
Like what you usually do, you put like 62 or whatever?
Well, every home is different. You know, the house is probably a century old, or up there in age. So the insulation, we don't know the insulation value, but you know, you don't want pipes to freeze. Okay, there's that yellow light. So let's close the boiler drain and let's watch and see what it does. Okay, solid orange light. We have a flashing green light on our WFE24 universal water feeder, and the CG400 Cycle Guard 400 is orange. And let's see what happens.
This looks like they're really old, like unit.
Yep.
And they're probably in there really tight, and I didn't want to like crack it off or something.
All good. Well, you had me this morning, so whatever you want me to do, we can do without fear.
Right, that's what I figured. The first time I'm doing things, I'll have you come see how you do it, and then in the future, maybe I'll give it a try if it happens.
Yep, I agree. All right, so it's got that signal to open. The automatic feeder is feeding. We are at 3/4 full the way we were before. Let's just wait a minute or two, make sure it doesn't get that urge to feed again, and then we'll drain it one more time, and then we've proven that the automatic water feeder and the low water cutoff are working in harmony. Cooperated. Let's turn this back on now, and let's drain the boiler until that yellow light comes on. Sorry, the orange light comes on the low water cutoff, and we'll repeat that process, and then we can safely say it's working properly. All right, that yellow light is back on. All right, yellow light is on. We just got a call for heat. That damper is opening, but it should not fire up because the low water cutoff right now is out on safety. So that limit is an open circuit, and it's not going to allow the boiler to fire, even though the damper is open. That green light is flashing on our automatic water feeder. It should replenish the right amount of water. That'll sense it, it'll stop. That won't fill itself back up again, and the boiler will fire up. That's the order of operation here. As long as the pressure control is good, our spill switch and the rollout switch in front of the boiler are all closed safety limits. All right, so that's feeding. That yellow light went off the low water cutoff. Oh, it's slowly illuminated there if you look. A little bit of orange there. Slightly. Our water level's going back where it needs to be. Okay. That's good. And we have ignition. All right, both boilers got combustion and draft analysis done. The one on the right, we tested the low water cutoff multiple times. That's fully functional at this time. Taking a look at the pitch with our torpedo. This steam main on the right side of the home wraps around. We have good pitch. Drops to there. This air valve should be elevated, should be about this high. So a 6 or 8 inch nipple with a coupling, and that air valve would be more happier. There's your wet return, picking up the other side, the left side of the header. Coming here, 1.25 inch copper piping. We have a drain, and then it goes to our Hartford loop with a T and a reducing coupling, picking up the 1/2 inch line for the water feed. Customer's complaint, we had banging sounds on this side of the home when the second floor system is running. However, we found that the piping on the left side, this was basically slightly pitched back to the boiler here, but this was level, and here, slightly going down. And then this was the low point, because starting from there to here was all back pitched a little bit to this point. So over a period of maybe a length of 20, 25 feet, you may have 1 inch of water standing there, and that's no good. And that would cause banging sounds. But the complaint wasn't here, it was over there. We raised up the threaded rod on this hanger. We tried going higher on this one, but it's as high as it'll go, at least cooperatively. Look at that. Oh, shipping coupling. And also this should be higher as well. They all should be higher. And that's not even a steam main, but it's functioning as one right now. It's a 3/8 air valve. And it's been that way for the beginning of time. But that should be raised up like the other one.